Wrong key. Hi, everyone.
Woo.
We are now coming to you live, audio and visual from the Pop Samurai Studios. I am your host, Will Walkie Washkoon, with my fellow hosts.
It's a Jaboy Jelani Hoon.
And Critical Joel over here.
And you have found yourselves in another pop contention. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's Thursday night. We're feeling good. How are you guys feeling?
I am excitedly fan. You know what? I'm not okay. I'm not right. I'm leaving the show.
Words are rough. All right. Well, there he goes.
Would you say Jelani's acting
I'm good.
Cowardly?
Oh, I might. Tonight, we are very excited to bring you. We are very excited to bring you the list of the top 5 cowardly characters in pop culture. But before we do, I want to remind you that you can catch us here every Thursday starting at 4:30 p.m. on twitch.tv/Pop Samurai Network. You can also find us on Facebook at Pop Samurai, Twitter at Pop Samurai Cast, Instagram at Pop Samurai Network. Email us at popsamurainetwork@gmail.com or catch us at the home of Pop Samurai Network on the World Wide Web, www.popsamurainetwork.com.
It's a ghost.
Oh, so continuing with our Pop-tober celebrations, we will bring you the top 5 cowards.
I love this idea. That was a good one on your part.
Thank you. It was very last minute.
Who's scared?
I woke up with this
scared.
idea. So a lot of people are scared. That's right.
Especially
you'd have to be crazy not to be scared.
Scared of our lists because they're gonna be so good.
Right. Scary good. I like it. So I want to invite you, if you're out there watching and listening, not to be scared. Feel free to drop us a comment in the chat. We will read it on air and we will respond to you like we're old buddies, like we're old pals, old friends.
How you been?
No big thing. Yeah, don't be afraid.
Where are you
Just
from?
clickety clack on the tickety tack and send us a message.
Come
There you
on,
go.
listen. You want some good chat discussion? Come on in, sugar. Come on in. We'll make a place for you at the table.
He's
Come
got some
on
fresh cookies
We're not
brewing up.
Yeah,
in
we're
the-
not gonna like harvest your organs or
No.
you
There's
know,
no
eat
ice
you
in
or
the tub or
anything.
anything
No.
like that. Don't worry about it.
Ignore all those bloody, tools and knives.
Nah, we're all cowards here.
We're
Couldn't
all-
do
Oh,
that.
right.
I can't even stand the sight of blood. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
God. So, without any further horseplay and nothing else to do, let's go over to Joel. Why don't you give us your number 5
All right.
coward?
You know, I'm gonna kick this one off with a very famous coward, and I think I had a very tough time with this one because I looked for a cartoon and I said, oh, there are many cowards in cartoons, but one stood out, and the reason is because that one, no matter what time period he has been about, it is Scooby-Doo. Had to put Scooby on the list. He's very cowardly.
The Scoobiest of dubious.
Yes. You know, his real name, I think, was Scoobert A. Dubert.
Was it? No.
Yes. If you look it up, he's got a full name and he's got a middle name too. I don't know what the A stands for, but Scoobert. I love that.
I'm concerned, mostly by his parents, but we're just gonna
You see,
power
I wasn't wrong.
right through that one.
Scoobert. I saw Dubert. I don't know.
Jelani.
Oh, Hi.
I have no Dubert that you have a great list over there. Why don't you give us your number 5?
number 5 for Jaboy over here. I was going down this list, and a majority of this list, a lot of things that came to my mind were cartoons as well. Surprise, right? It's crazy.
I know.
I had to situate myself and figure out like what cartoon did I want to go for, and I decided to go with one that's on my wall behind me, and I'm going with Piglet.
Oh,
from Winnie the
nice.
Pooh.
I was hoping that would come
It's an adorable scaredy coward.
Piglet.
Piglet.
Okay.
Nicely.
He's a coward. He is a
is.
coward.
He
He
is.
is afraid of almost everything, but it's adorable at the same time. Come on.
That's a
Excellent.
good one.
Can you honestly tell me that you can honestly say Piglet?
Now,
Piglet.
I think we should, before we get to yours, I want to make a note that it's like, cowards can act cowardly and end up doing something cool in the end
Yes, of
of
course.
whatever their story. But it's like, are they scared of, are they most scarable out of all the people that you can think of, right? And I think that's the way you put it. It's like, how do you, scarable? That's not a word.
Are they susceptible to fear?
Yeah, that's pretty good. So
This-
anyway, we want to
This
hear
is
yours.
usually about fear, this whole Poptober
Yeah.
thing that we do.
Cool.
So I decided to flip it on its head and go with people who get afraid, not people who do the fraidin'. Not
Afraid?
the fraidies, not the
Afraid- yeah,
freighters.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mhm.
And
I
in
wanna
that
hear yours.
vein,
Yeah.
and I'm also extremely excited that I was able to get this onto the list before you, Joel.
All right.
I am going for a beloved character from the Metal Gear Solid franchise. I'm going to go with Otacon.
Oh,
In my
good
number
one.
5.
Good one. Man, you know what? I glossed over a lot of
Bravo.
video games. I feel very guilty.
Oh,
and
I am
cowardly. I feel
very happy
cowardly
right
As
now.
you should.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let you redeem yourself. How's
All right.
about you give us your number 4?
All right. I had to get somebody on here from one of my most beloved things in the world, and I had to put the blood-sucking lawyer on here. It is Gennaro, the man who was eaten by a T-Rex by running away from children at Jurassic Park.
How did I know? It was gonna be one of these random, one of the randoms.
Oh, come on. That's one of the most cowardly moments in movies of all
I guess when you
movies.
gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Jurassic Park has to make
Yeah, on the
a
list, yes.
Every single time.
I
I
know.
love it. I
an
love it.
appearance. Jelani, number 4.
Number 4 for your boy here. I'm gonna go with newer entry to the cartoon world. I'm gonna go with Morty from Rick and Morty.
Ah, yes, of
Ah,
course.
nice.
Morty Smith. Well done.
What? Wiggity wow.
Oh, now that we got those out there, we want to hear your number 4.
My number 4, of course, is going to be someone who you wouldn't think is cowardly based on his names and how the minstrels sing his praises.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the lyrics, they may actually be pointing out he is quite a coward of historical proportions. I am going to go with Brave Sir Robin
Yes.
from
I was hoping this would
Monty
come up.
Python and the Holy Grail.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
Wow.
so great.
That's a good pull. That's a good one.
That is a
I like that
great
a
one.
lot.
I love it.
Moving right along, Joel, you're number 3.
All right. This is another franchise that I hold near and dear to myself. This is one who did redeem himself in the very end, but throughout, to him, the game was over. The game was over. I should say it the way he said it, which is game over, man.
Game over!
It's Hudson from Aliens.
Wow.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Jelani.
Jelani is going for a beloved video game coward. One that I'm also glad that I got on here before Joel, which was Otacon.
Otacon. Let's go.
You guys killed me.
That's right. Come on, buddy.
Killing me.
He's gonna
Come on.
regret that one.
Yeah, I am. Yikes.
I almost put Snake on this, but then I was like, no, it's got to be Otacon.
Number 3 for me is kind of a cartoon. It's not quite. He's animated.
Okay.
I'm going with Rex.
Yes, I knew it.
From Toy Story.
I knew the minute you said that. I was
Yeah.
like, it's gonna be perfect. That's awesome.
I think he's hilarious
I love
and a coward.
Oh, he's the
Very
biggest coward in that movie.
Tyrannosaurus coward.
Really good. Really good.
These are great.
These are good ones.
I'm loving this.
I love this.
Yeah.
Well, keep the good times rolling.
Absolutely.
Keep the good
Mickey
times
D's.
jolin'.
Number two. All right. I wanted to keep in the spirit of October and the spookiness, so I couldn't think of anybody better to have on this list at number 2 than Mr. Ichabod Crane.
Oh,
yes.
how did I miss
What
that
a
one?
wuss. He spent most of the time
Man.
running away.
Remember when he was Johnny? Remember when he was Johnny Depp for a bit?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Man.
Even then, he was pretty cowardly.
Yeah, I know.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Very on topic. Well done.
Hell yeah.
Jelani, number 2.
Number 2 for me, was also going to the world of cartoons. A lot of these are from cartoons, guys, and it's a beloved cartoon throughout the ages, and he just wants some snacks, some Scooby snacks, and I'm going with Scooby-Doo, guys.
I was wondering if you were gonna throw it like because Shaggy ate Scooby snacks too, so I was a little worried there. But
Remember when he was a pup named Scooby-Doo?
oh,
That was adorable too.
His little cousin though was a pain in the ass. I'll say.
Scrappy Doo.
Yeah.
Scrappy.
Scrappy Dappy Doo was a.
Remember the live action movie when he was the villain?
I thought he was crappy. How about you?
Well done.
Uh,
All right, Will, tell us your number 2.
Number 2 is also from a rather recent cartoon,
oh.
but not your cartoon. It is an anime character. I'm going with Minoru Mineta
Uh-huh.
from My Hero
Yes.
Academia.
I was wondering if
The
this would come up. I
lovable,
thought one of you
that
two.
lovable pervert.
And now in our show, this is the time when we talk about the cowards that weren't quite cowardly enough.
Close, very
Well,
close.
Didn't make our lists
They're
either
so
because
cowardly they didn't even want to be on.
they
the list.
redeemed themselves so much, or they were too cowardly to even show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe we were just too big of cowards to think we could win with them. Joel, what do you got?
I mean, I have to start with the one that his name is in, or the word is in his name. It's Courage, Courage the Cowardly Dog. I have Oppum, who was the guy who didn't give the ammo to the other guy
God,
in
that
Saving
guy's-
Private Ryan. Everybody's all pissed now. Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball.
Yes,
Ah.
Kaguya and Shirogane, because they're too
they are
cowardly
both
to tell
cowardly.
each other
That's
that they
true.
like one another.
A lot of sweating
Um,
on that show.
James from Pokemon. A Fealties from 300, who was the disfigured gentleman, if you remember him.
Yes,
Oh,
of course.
what a betraying
May you
asshole.
live forever.
Yeah. And then Ruby Rod from Fifth Element. What a coward. A lot of screaming.
Oh yeah.
The Cowardly
Chris Rock
Lion.
again.
Yeah. No, not Rock. It was
Tucker.
Tucker.
Chris
That's
Tucker,
it,
you're right.
Yeah.
My bad.
yeah. The Cowardly Lion. We can't gloss over that one. That's an important
This
one.
is a name.
Yeah, exactly. Chucky Finster from Rugrats.
Oh, Chucky
Oh,
Finster.
that's
And
a good one.
I don't know if you guys remember this. In Starship Troopers, there was a colonel or a general that they find on the planet Klendathu.
Yeah.
And he comes running out of his thing, and he keeps like running all scared and stuff, and then he gets smashed to bits. And he was like the most cowardly character in there. Great character. So Carter from Aliens, who was the business guy,
Mhm.
and he totally screwed them over and he got killed because of it. This one I love. Albert Nimzicki, who was the jerk. I forgot what his position was, but in Independence Day, that son of a bitch that everybody hated. Do you guys remember that guy, Nimzicki? And he's like, "I am firing you, Mr. Nimzicki," and he fires him, and he's like, "You can't do that, Mr. President." But he was the guy who's like
Secretary of
trying.
Defense.
That's it. And he
Yes,
was trying to
that's-
close the doors
yes.
on the people and everything
That's
like
right.
that. Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
at
What
the
a
end he goes
coward.
and prays with the people. Yeah, that's right. I remember. Yeah.
Little controversial here. Frodo, pretty
Sure,
cowardly.
I guess.
Um,
I can see it.
George
Uh.
McFly, that son of a bitch dad who left the mom in 28 Weeks Later. Captain Rhodes in Day of the Dead. Luther Higgs, who is played by Don Knotts, the official coward of the world, in Ghost and Mr. Chicken. Tom Cruise in Edge of Tomorrow. Cypher from The Matrix. And Prince Paris from Troy. That's all I've got.
Bravo.
Jelani.
That's all. That's all.
So
I
mine's-
of them.
Mentions.
Mine isn't as long as Joel, but it's not the size of it that counts. It's how you use it. So I got Boo from Mario. Obviously, that dude doesn't want to look. He doesn't want to look at you when you look at him.
That's a good one.
Come on,
I like
eye
that.
contact, guys.
Nicely done.
I love the Mummy movie and Benny from the Mummy movie. That
thought I had
coward
I
a-hole.
thought I had that on.
Uh,
I did.
who just he got what he deserved at the
He
end.
helped
Of
Imhotep,
course.
that son of a.
Yes, he did. He did he not? I'm just gonna leave it there.
Ah, that's
That's
a good
it.
Well, he named off a bunch of ones that I already had on my list. So I was like,
Well,
eh,
yeah,
sorry.
that's half the fun is
Sorry.
saying I thought of that
one.
too.
Yeah.
So, mine
Nobody in Ninja
Not for me.
are
not for me.
Hercule, Mr. Satan from DBZ.
Yep.
Scooby Doo. Boo, I had on there.
You did too.
The
Wow.
henchmen in the Arkham series, the Rocksteady
See,
Batman.
I was trying to
They're
figure
They're
all those
always
out.
like, "Oh God, it's
Yeah.
the bat!"
Yeah.
Like that's the first thing you hear
Good
every
call.
time. Porky from Earthbound.
Yep.
Luigi, the Cowardly Lion, C-3PO, George McFly, Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs.
Yep.
He's the only one. Would everybody just be professionals? And then he runs away and still gets shot. Captain Hammer from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. Jane Cobb from Firefly. Even though he was the biggest, most physically imposing one, he was always the one that wanted to run away. And Courage, the Cowardly Dog.
Nice.
That is my honorables.
I like it. You had some good ones.
Awesome.
I can't believe
Very
I forgot Boo. That's like perfect. And it's like he never says a thing, but he's just the biggest coward.
He's scary himself, but he's also scared.
Oh no, he's looking at me.
It's also adorable.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for sticking with us while Joel, read for an hour there.
I'm sorry.
We want to remind anyone who's out there that you can feel free to drop in and chat with us whenever you want. Also, don't forget to smash that follow button as we smash into the number ones.
Whoa.
Our top picks for the top cowards, and Joel is going to take us there first.
Oh, I am so excited about this one because I remember seeing this a long time ago when I was a child, and I was instantly, in the first movie that I saw, was like, that guy's a freaking coward. What the hell? And then it's like repeated throughout the rest of all of the films that come after that. And I don't know how anybody could put this on their honorable mentions because C-3PO is the number one coward in all of film history. So
okay, C-3PO.
Yep,
Okay.
that's the one.
All right.
I definitely thought about it. And
But I'm
I
curious
thought
what you have
everyone
then.
else is going to have it.
All right. Well, let's.
Jelani.
Well, Jelani here has a pick at number 1 that everyone had on their honorable mentions list. And the reason I go with this one is because I loved this cartoon growing up. And it was another lovable dog, and his name is Courage, the Cowardly Dog.
I just couldn't put 2 dogs on them. But...
I could.
Jelani's got him back to back.
Got him back to back.
I like it.
Because I love puppers. Come on, who doesn't?
That's a good
Good
one.
boys.
God, he's...
Good boys.
Good boys.
That was the
Why
top.
didn't
The one
we
that...
have? Did we have Courage on the list of good boys?
Don't
know if we did.
know if he made it
He
onto
was really
there.
a good boy too.
Oh, this is.
But that
Two
one I
ago
was
now.
having a really tough time between that and Scooby Doo.
Actually, here it is. Let's see. To recap, just because I'm curious and I have it right here.
Don't give it
Our
all
top
away.
5 doggos in pop culture were let's see, Parappa the Rapper at number 1.
It's interesting.
Scooby Doo.
Listen, my hand scribbles and everything just completely screwed up.
Balto.
Yeah.
Max from How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yes.
And 5 is DD.
Oh,
Diamond
Diamond
Dog.
Dog. Yeah,
Diamond Dog.
from Metal Gear Solid 5.
There we go.
He beat out Dogmeat.
Yeah.
Oh, Dogmeat should have won. I'm
Booyah.
still.
I think Courage ended up on like everybody's honorable mentions. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, and like I said, it was a toss-up because
He's
that
a
one
good
was-
boy, though.
He's a good boy.
Dude,
He's
I
a very
love-
good boy.
Those episodes are super creepy.
Okay, I'm obviously just stalling at this point.
Yeah, we want to hear it.
My number 1 is from a certain cartoon called Scooby Doo.
Oh.
Except it's not Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
It is Neville Shaggy Rogers
Yes, I was
at my
hoping
number
that-
1. Fight me in real life. I'm going with Shaggy.
Bravo. Bravo.
Not super buff Shaggy that'll beat everybody's ass though.
No, not internet
Yeah.
Shaggy.
Okay, all right.
Not meme
Yeah.
Shaggy.
Continue. Keep going.
Okay, so we have assembled 3 times 5, 15 of the most cowardly characters of all time. I know that my math is wrong because some of them repeated. Don't worry about that. I'm afraid of math. It's got letters in it now. What the hell, math? So now we must nominate which 3 we think will go where on our big show list, on the big board, on the big beautiful list.
I love it.
All right.
I love
And we're going to start with Joel because I've been picking on him all night and making him go first because
Perfect.
that is the system. We have a policy and rules.
You must abide.
So Joel,
What
what are you thinking?
I'm throwing Scooby at number 2.
Wow.
Scooby?
Wow.
And I think Jelani might agree.
All right, Jelani.
I'm going to throw Otacon at number 4.
Otacon at 4.
Yeah.
And I'm doing Shaggy at number 2
Oh,
because we have to have
All
that
right.
battle.
I like that.
Oh.
Oh, that's a tough one. Damn it. I didn't know you were gonna do that.
Oh, you were gonna-
I mean, the two biggest.
Listen,
I
it's
am-
not called pop friendly. It's called pop contention.
Pop contention.
Ding ding.
All right.
ding
So
ding.
allow me to pull up a timer on my phone. I've got this nifty new app called Clock. So that should help us out.
What does it do?
I can't tell you. I haven't figured out how to use it yet. But I put 300 on it, which is either going to be 3 minutes or we're going to be here for 300
Oh
hours.
god, it's got an analog
Let's
clock too. How do we read it?
Let's hope that it's 3 minutes on the clock. Otacon at number 4 is the lowest pick. So Jelani, you will be arguing first.
Ding,
Are
ding.
you ready? Begin.
Well, what do I need to say about this character? This character is the polar opposite of the main character. Solid Snake is the baddest of badasses throughout this entire franchise. And you have a character that is a pure coward. To the point, like, when he sees that cyber ninja, he pisses his pants,
Literally,
guys.
yeah, he does.
Literally. I think he might have did it twice. I'm not sure.
It was
He
kinda
might have.
reoccurring, yeah.
It was a recurring thing. And the whole first game was just him just crying and being whiny, but his character lasts throughout the franchise for a reason. It's because everyone still likes him eventually. You know, everyone it becomes that lovable coward, and he becomes that thing that like Snake plays off of. You know,
The
it's
brilliant
opposites
win.
attract. You know,
Yes.
exactly. And I think that was a minute, right? That was a minute.
Maybe. What are you scared to keep going? It
No,
was
I don't
only
wanna- I don't wanna
48
eat up-
seconds.
I don't want to eat up your time.
All
But
right.
listen, he deserves to be on here, and I think a video game character deserves to be
Hell
on
yeah.
this list.
I agree.
This is the one.
All right,
nice.
Joel.
You want me to go? All right.
Yes, because I am the host and I have the power.
rules. All right, so Scooby, this is a magical creation brought to us in the 70s, and I have been watching it since the 80s as a young child, grew up with it, and it is still going to this day, to my knowledge, in the form of terrible movies and other forms of cartoons that I don't watch, but I'm happy that it's still going. But let's be honest, what is it about? It is about Shaggy and Scooby, but what's the title character, and why is that? It's because this dog who manages to talk to people for whatever reason is a big wuss. They're confronting things that are spooky, and every single thing that they do, I don't know why he torments himself. He's like a masochist in that regard. He just wants to solve the issue, but he's too cowardly. So they run, and they end up solving it by running away somehow every single time, and it's all because of his hunger and his cowardice. So Scooby needs to be on this list because of that.
Thank you for describing why the show that my character is from is so good. Now I'll tell you why my character is the one that should be on this
He
list.
fell into his trap. You
Go
should-
ahead. Neville
Neville
my
Rogers, aka Shaggy, is the biggest scaredy cat on one of the best scaredy cat shows on TV. He's so scared, he taught his dog to be scared of everything. He's so scared, even when he has his dog with him, he's still super scared. He's so scared that he can eat literally 1,000,000 calories in one sitting and still just shake his way into
Yeah.
being a beanpole.
Yeah.
Shaggy is so scared. He is such a coward. And usually it's not even his fault that they solve the mystery.
Yeah.
Because Scooby ends up manning up for the both of them and solving it.
You're right.
Shaggy's just a big old wimp, and Scooby redeems him.
No.
And that is it.
That's why I prefaced in the beginning of the show, though, that these wimps, these cowards can redeem themselves.
They can.
But all right,
You
go
are
with it.
right.
We'll go with this.
All right.
Let's let it roll.
Let's
Not
start
what I'm gonna vote for.
by voting for the number 4 spot. Otacon, Jelani, yay or nay?
I'm gonna put yay.
I will also put yay. The guy was known for peeing his pants. That was his whole thing.
Yeah, come on.
Let me think. One of my favorite video game series. Oh my God, yes. Of
Yes!
course. How did I forget this?
How did
I'm
you
so
do
mad.
it? Number 4, Otacon.
Like shooting fish in a barrel.
He is on the list,
All right, Ocelot.
making our list of available spots that much smaller.
Yep.
And now, number 2, Scooby versus Shaggy.
You go first.
I will go
Please
first
do.
for more dramatic tension.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote Shaggy.
All right. And then, should we let Jelani choose first, or should
No,
I?
you
All right, all right,
for
all
the
right,
for
all
the
right.
dramatic tension.
All right, this is it. Are you kidding me? I have to put Shaggy. It freaking is true. It's
Really?
ridiculous.
Oh
I
my
have
goodness.
to.
No
It
way.
is so ridiculous. I thought about this before and I had qualms with it, but I'm like, but it is Scooby that like everybody remembers as being a wuss. It's like, no, Shaggy was 10 times the wuss. He was bad, like to the point where it's like, no, Scoob, don't go in there. We gotta get out of here. And it's
Like zoinks,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. Come on. Scooby was
Let's
just
just go eat a
scared
Scooby
because of
snack.
his owner being a freaking scaredy as well. So I think this has to go to Shaggy. What do you think?
I think so as well. I think it's got to go to Shaggy.
I
think,
have won over 2
Let's be honest, guys.
doers. I have won them over to the Shaggites.
And I think we all know why. Because Shaggy's imagining it all in his head because he's super lit.
Because he is high as a kite the
You
entire
ever
time.
notice it's always Shaggy and Scooby? There's a reason behind that. He's imagining it all.
Scooby
Yeah.
can't actually talk. They were just hotboxing the mystery machine that
Poor
whole
dog is
time.
so high.
all the time.
That's
all
animal
the
abuse.
time. All right. We have quickly eliminated one of the big hitters.
I know, that was a big one.
We
Good one.
have
Good one.
3 spots left on this list.
What's
And
gonna
Jelani
happen?
has a couple more picks, so why don't you tell us what you're shooting
I'm
for
going for the
this
big
round?
one, guys. I'm going for number 1.
Ooh.
And I'm going for courage.
Ooh.
All right. And I will, let's see. Oh, man. I think I'm going to put Rex at number 3.
Interesting. Now what is Joel gonna do?
I have to.
Remember, 1, 3, and 5 are left
Yeah,
open.
I'm gonna have to battle it out for the number 1 spot with C3PO.
3PO at number 1.
It's gonna be tough.
All right. So, Rex at number 3 is the lowest attempt. So, I will start this round. 3 minutes are on the clock, and I will go now. So, Toy Story. It's about a bunch of toys, inanimate objects that somehow become animate,
Mhm.
and they just do things, and they're magically alive. And
That's the
somehow they are all like aware of the fact that they are mortal. And the most aware of this is Rex. He is literally the biggest toy that there is. He's a T-Rex.
Yeah.
He is the apex predator. You
Tell
know
me
this,
about it.
Joel.
I love it.
I am
That was a-
singing to the choir, and yet somehow he is the voice of reason. He is the scaredest one. He doesn't want to leave Andy's room.
No.
He doesn't want to save any of his friends. He wants to just stay inside and play. Rex, the king of the, well, not of the jungle,
Of
but
the
you know,
toy
the king of the
jungle, yeah.
the
Toy
you know,
jungle.
of that period, of the Jurassic period, I hope. And he is just he's just the scaredest of the toys. Great voice acting, great
Who's the voice on
animation.
that, do you know?
I forget. Thank
Nice,
you,
very
Sean
good.
Wallace. Good
Awesome.
pull.
Thank you.
And he did it excellently. So Rex at number 3. That's my vote. Let's go over to Jelani
Yep.
So,
for Courage at number 1.
Listen, guys. I used to love Scooby-Doo. I love it so much. But there is a dog that has dethroned him, right? There's a dog who remains scared in every episode and doesn't go up against old men in masks. He goes up against legit scary curses. Oh, except for
Booga booga booga!
That's pretty
Exactly.
terrifying.
Exactly, right?
That too is terrifying.
Listen, he goes up against mummies and just
Anything.
weird, crazy alien chickens and things like that.
Oh, God,
and
chicken.
And
he
use
is
this bag.
he's scared to death every single episode. But because of his love for Muriel, he
Oh,
will
Muriel.
go the lengths of the earth to be the goodest of boys. All right. And even though he succeeds in overcoming whatever crazy thing is happening, the next episode, he's still as scared as he was the day he was born, right? He is afraid of everything.
Right,
It's
you are.
such a well done cartoon. It's great all the way through. And I think Courage deserves to be on this list. If there is no Scooby on this list, Courage needs to be on this list.
Oh, and by the way, he never says a word because it's a
Yeah,
dog.
he says words.
He says words.
He
Yeah,
says
he does
words.
say some.
He does say
Like,
something.
fine, like 1 to
When
the
he
blue moon.
not to like people, but when he's talking to like his computer or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like his
He
computer.
Yeah,
also
but it's little
does a
mumbling.
lot of like
It's little mumbling.
fourth wall breaks.
Yeah,
And talks to the audience.
Yeah. yeah, but they're very small, like phrases. I know, or like the jaw drop. Yeah,
He just,
exactly.
he
The
just, like,
flailing.
deforms
Oh,
into
yeah. I love that
The
show.
big hole in his tooth for some reason.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah. Good God.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, then I guess I got to get to why C-3PO is going to win this. Let's just say that I'm pretty sure if you guys saw the scene in Return of the Jedi where like the creatures are kind of like wrapping their arms around him in I think it was Bib Fortuna, the guy with the like kind of tentacle thingies around his neck, is like touching him and whatever the hell, and you hear him be like, "Oh God!" You can mute that and hear it in your head how he go, "Yeah, oh Lord, no!" You know, I don't even know how he. There's so much mumbling of like complaining and scaredness by C-3PO throughout the entire thing that it's just it's a required character to counteract R2-D2, who I think was supposed to be the bold. You know, this trash can that's bold for whatever reason. And it's awesome because they have their own personalities. And this one shined through in bright gold that he was the biggest sissy of them all. He never did anything to really redeem himself. He might have accidentally pushed a stormtrooper once or twice, but he was more scared of that stormtrooper than anything.
That's true.
So,
But
they're more afraid of us than
can
they
he
are
love
of them.
I mean, he's a Borat.
What is love? Okay, that is time. The time for debate is over. The time for voting is now. Number 3, Rex from Toy Story. It's a big yay from me. Let's go over to Joel.
Nay, I want to hear what you have to say. I'm
No
sorry.
way.
I love it, but
Wow.
No way. You saw it here first, everyone. I got Joel to vote against a Tyrannosaurus
Yes.
Rex.
Oh my God.
a non-Jurassic
You don't
Park.
get that anymore.
A non-
You don't get that on
You
there no more.
stay away.
You don't
a
get the T-Rex on the-
non-Jurassic
on the-
Park rendition
Unbelievable.
of T-Rex.
All right, Jelani.
Rex.
Rex.
From Toy Story.
Yeah.
To not have him on this list would be inconceivable because, come on, the actor was the actor from Princess Bride. Come
You're
on,
right, you're right. Good call.
he needs to be on this list. All right, it's the only dinosaur that I know that is actually a coward.
All
And
right.
let's do it.
Say
Let's
the
put him on
word.
this list.
I'll allow it.
It's a yay.
Yeah.
I was just looking at my list, and I'm like, maybe I could fight for that position, but it's not like I don't like it. So I thought it
You
was a good.
can't anymore.
I know.
Because why do I always have to fight for the T-Rex to get on this list? Every
do?
time.
You
Oh
do?
my God.
You do.
Is my work never... Joel is always naysaying,
Yeah,
and
about
I have to
T-Rexes
fight for
particularly.
T-Rexes.
He
That's
likes to
a-
play games
I'm
too.
gonna
He
bring
plays
a
video
T-Rex
games.
shirt next time, just to
Just
show how
picking up the mantle.
cool I am with T-Rexes.
All right, enough fun and games about who properly loves T-Rexes and who's a traitor.
Yeah.
Let's go to the number 1 spot.
let's
Courage
do it.
the Cowardly Dog versus C-3PO. We'll let Joel go first.
All right. I do love me some Courage, but I had a tough time with this, and I gotta go with C-3PO on my end. So.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. You just like laugh out around. I'm gonna go with Courage. Come on, guys. I gotta go with my cartoons.
All right.
Oh,
So
this
leave
is...
it dramatically. Leave it up to Will.
Originally a cartoon, right?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. It's so good too because it was like a little bit more dark.
Adult. Yeah,
it was
It
weird
was totally dark. Yeah.
than the cartoon.
This is a tough one because I had both of them on my honorable mentions, and I almost put both of them on my list. I am still deciding.
Okay. All right.
Ugh.
Chew on the knuckle for a little bit.
Right now, we are waiting for Will's decision. Joel, do you think his decision will be the right one?
Yeah, it'll absolutely be C-3PO, Jelani. I think.
Listen, let's go to the replay. All right, we'll go back to the replay right now, and if you see, he's moving at a slow pace right now, and we're trying to see whether or not he's gonna actually come through and make it to the end zone.
Here's where the moment you just see his heartbreak that he has.
Now
to
the
tell one of
question
us
is,
that
does he
doesn't want-
fumble?
Yeah.
It has to be C-3PO. It has to be.
My heart.
Somehow
My
the
heart.
word didn't come out of Joel's mouth. Maybe because he was showing mercy. But when you talk about iconic
Yeah.
cowards,
Oh my God.
That is it.
Everybody knows 3PO. He's
Well-
the biggest. He's the biggest coward in that galaxy far, far
Oh
away.
my God.
It's
Hell
got to
yeah.
be C-3PO. I'm so sorry.
Oh man.
But
I
Courage
want
the
everybody to- I
Cowardly
want everybody
Dog
to
has
know-
been
I want
eliminated.
everybody to know Will took Courage out to the back and shot him.
Wow.
Point blank.
Yeah, and you know what? All that happened is I gave him a hole in his other tooth.
See?
So
That's
now he's
even.
balanced.
Yeah, he's symmetric.
Fucking killed
And
him.
aerodynamic.
Aerodynamic. Yeah.
I want
I
you to
also,
imagine.
I
want you to
also got
imagine-
Edward Norton out of his head finally, so
Oh,
I want
God.
you to imagine the goodest of boys being shot by Will.
you're horrible. You're the worst.
Yay.
Oh, this is so good. All right, so what's open left?
Yeah, I think
All that's left is number 5.
All right.
You keep telling me I love you so much. Thanks for
What
coming in.
is up? For those of you just getting here, just joining us, we are doing the top 5 cowards in pop culture. We have narrowed down the list. We've gotten our 1 through 4 picked. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Those were
Do you want
words.
to recap? So
Yes. At number 4 is Otacon from Metal Gear Solid. Number 3 is Rex from Toy Story. Number 2 is Shaggy from The Adventures of Scooby-Doo. And number 1 is C-3PO, famously of Star Wars.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we have come to the number 5, the last spot.
Let's do this.
And I am going to nominate Brave Sir Robin from Monty Python and the Holy Grail
So good.
Interesting.
for number 5. Joel.
Let Jelani pick this.
What the what?
That's not
What
how
is-
it works.
This is not
There
how
are
it
rules.
works.
I know, but I
Joel.
have
There's
three-
a process.
I have 3
We
beautiful
have
picks here that I
policy.
can put there. I'm gonna put Ichabod Crane at number 5.
All right. Ichabod Crane
Versus.
versus.
Oh, jeez, I don't know, guys. I'm gonna go with Morty on this one, guys.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. Morty Smith, number 5. I led off last round, so I am going to use that to my advantage and defer to Joel
All right.
to talk
down with it.
I
first
believe in you.
about Ichabod Crane. You have 3 minutes on the clock, but you should only use one of them because
I'll be kind. Yeah.
we're here.
Be kind.
And
Be
are you
one.
ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Begin.
All right, so the story of the headless horseman in Sleepy Hollow in general, this story is perfectly timed for our Poptober scare theater. Everything you can think of, this movie has the atmosphere for. Well, it also has one of the most scared people that has ever existed. This person became aware of the headless horseman through tales and things like that, and then eventually encountered it, and it's like he couldn't even stand himself. There's multiple renditions of him being a thin little twerp who is just like jaw-droppingly scared and runs away at any possible sight of this and tries to avoid him at all costs. I would say that this, next to C-3PO, is probably one of the more iconic scaredy cats throughout all of animation and movies, even John Depp's.
Even J. Depp?
Yeah. So I'll leave it off and just say perfect for the season. Scared of ghosts. Boom. There it is.
Great timing.
Great timing.
Jelani.
Morty Smith, guys, is the character that he is because they base him off just the multitude of sidekicks that are the Frady Cat sidekicks compared to the awesome, super powered, super genius character that they follow, right? Is he is an amalgamation of all this, right? And they play him so well throughout the entire series. And no matter how much he goes through the series, not like and sometimes he even redeems himself and becomes braver than everybody else. He still ends up becoming just like this weird, just like kid who just like, oh, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, or I don't know. A lot of gray areas in this as well.
Gee.
And there's a reason why it's, so popular and everyone's waiting for the new season. It's because it's become so iconic in such a short period of time, guys.
Oh, he said it.
So I think it needs to be on this list. Let's do it.
All right. I think you're wrong because I think brave Sir Robin deserves to be on this
So
list.
This guy.
good.
Because there
I
is
don't know
even
who
a
this guy is.
song
I love
sang
it.
by the
love
minstrels as they
That's so
follow him
funny.
around. And I think that his lack of courage, his lack of brave trait of any sort is what he is most well known for. And that is the funniest thing about him. He tucked his tail and turned and fled and, wet his pants and surely, and he just runs away, and then they sing about it throughout the entire movie until they eat his minstrels, which is also pretty funny. And then there was much rejoicing. I think that he is one of the funnier picks on the list.
And actually all happen to be funny characters, but I'll say that that's probably one of the best.
Oh, no.
You say, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that is okay. I was just about done. I just think he's funny and very cowardly. And so they tell tales and sing songs, the bards through the ages, about his lack of bravery.
I will say this. It was very easy for me to come up with a bunch of cowards that I disliked wholeheartedly. Up them from Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Who?
The guy who...
Upham.
Of course.
The guy who didn't deliver the ammo and just let the other guy...
Cowardice is, supposed to be something that as a society we frown upon.
Yeah, but I like that we all went with characters that are like, I'm kind of likable,
That's the thing, is we found lovable cowards.
Yeah.
That's a trope, and we have embraced it to a T.
Love it.
So, doing the last thing that they would ever be caught dead doing, battling it out in a melee, a three-way melee. We have Brave Sir Robin of Monty Python and the Holy Grail versus Ichabod Crane versus Morty Smith for the number 5 spot.
This is tough.
I have to vote first. And I don't like that because I'm not going to vote for my own guy. Because I think you both did really good.
Come on, yours is good too, though. Just the choice.
I appreciate. Yeah, I was going for a good pull, but trope is a good word.
Trope is a good word. Trope is a good word.
I'm stalling again.
Possibly.
Are you guys both voting for your own guys? Because then I can be the swing vote.
You did this to me.
Damn it.
We're back, and we're seeing what will decide. Yeah. The question is he thinking himself out of his own game? We shall see in just a second.
He's acting awfully cowardly, if you ask me.
He's acting awfully cowardly. Will he stick with his pick, or will he deceive himself into...
Right there, you can see the anguish in his face and the broken heart.
Okay, I've made my decision.
All right, make a decision.
I am going to vote for Ichabod Crane, and I'm gonna stab Jelani right in the back twice in one episode, and hopefully I wake up alive tomorrow morning.
I can take it. It's fine.
Do you hear that noise, you guys? That's the sound of the wind ripping through the trees as this horse rider comes through with a pumpkin for a head. And he's going to scare the bejesus out of Ichabod Crane, everybody. Just won number 5.
Oh, look at that. Jelani, would you have stuck with Morty?
Lord.
Would you have given me a pity vote of Brave Sir Robin?
Lord. 5 anime betrayals will just...
God.
Yep.
Oh, my Lord. Ooh. No, I don't want the Ichabod.
Really?
No way.
Look at that.
There's a reason why I was naming it. I do like the Johnny Depp version. With you ever see?
It's a creepy movie.
It's a creepy movie. It's
that's
Tim
a very
Burton.
atmospheric movie.
Remember when the Headless Horseman turned out to be Christopher Walken the whole time?
Yeah.
That was a crazy film.
That actually has happened in every rendition of that story since it was originally written. Yeah,
exactly.
Christopher Walken is just
what are you doing here?
He's just been around for the whole time.
Hey,
they wrote the original piece about him.
Take a pumpkin.
Why are you so afraid?
Wrote it with him in mind for the lead role.
Spice.
How about you go over there and get me some cowbell?
How about you guys say that thing that you have to say so I can end the show?
Hey, Will.
Yeah.
Read us off that big, beautiful list.
I will do just that. Tonight, in our Pop Contention Top 5 Cowards, we came up with a list starting at number 5, Ichabod Crane. Number 4, Otacon. Number 3 is Rex of Toy Story. Number 2 is Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. And number 1, the top coward in all pop culture, C-3PO from Star Wars.
Guys, I like this list.
You like all the
this
lists.
This is also a Joel ass list.
This is
Hey,
a super Jolie list.
Sorry.
Except
I told
for-
you, I'm the most cowardly of them all.
Except for the two
and
picks.
we love it so much.
It's a Jolie list, except for the two picks that were the most Jolie,
Yeah.
which were my picks.
Ooh.
and half your pick.
Yeah.
Half my
Otacon.
pick, half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just half. Take a slice.
So as Joel hangs his head in shame, realizing that he didn't pick the T-Rex or the character from one of his favorite game series, consoling himself only with his number one spot, we are going to take a 10-minute break. We will be back in just a little bit to talk pop aficionados, all things news and pop culture. So please stick with us, and we will see you after a short 10-minute break.
It'd be cowardly of you to leave here.
Oh, it would be so cowardly.
I'm out of here.
Thank you, everyone. See you soon. Bye.